movie. Thanks for coming out to see Verotika. So I have a couple guests here. First of all, we have Ashley Wisdom, who played Dajette in the movie. Give it up for Ashley. We have Mr. Glenn Danzig, the director, writer, producer, VP of the film. And last but not least, we have Josh Goldbloom. Cool, so we're going to keep this Q&A pretty short and sweet for you guys. So Glenn, this has been a long time coming, putting together this movie. What was it like translating something from comic book to screen?
Especially because we had like almost no budget to do it. It's very tough, and also because it's my comic company and I'm also the director, I have to like take off my hat as a director and then be the owner of Verotika and say, well, it has to look a certain way because the characters have to look like they do in the comic. And especially since, I don't know how many of you have been following Verotika since it started, but there's a lot of people that love these characters, you know, and have followed them since the beginning, you know, diehard Verotika fans. And so they want to see the character the way they are in the comic. So it was tough doing that, flip-flopping back and forth between director and the owner of Verotika Comics. So it's tough, but when you have the comic right there in front of you on set, it's a lot easier sometimes because you can see and show everybody how it has to look. And so, you know, in that aspect, it was a little easier showing people how it has to look.
And in hindsight, what's it been like touring pretty much the world with this movie? You know, it's all coming to a close. This is the last theatrical showing of the movie. What's it been like, you know, seeing the crowds and getting the reactions that you can get?
Well, it's great watching everyone's reaction because the way I wanted it to be perceived is just exactly the way everyone in the theater perceives it, you know. There's scenes where you're totally shocked, there's scenes where you're laughing, and, you know, there's also scenes where you're just like, what the fuck is going on? But that's how the Verotika comics are. The first time someone sees a Verotika comic, like, what is this? Who wrote this? and so that's exactly what I wanted. But most of the people at the showings, it's something I really like. It becomes a movie people talk about, and no one ever leaves usually the theater. They watch it right till the end. They're like, I want to see what the hell is going to happen next. What's going on here?
You know, and I think one of the reasons is because your passion for filmmaking is all over this fucking screen for 90 minutes straight. And, you know, one of the things that you talked about in Chicago at the very first screening was before any of your musical efforts or interests, you went to the School of Visual Arts. Was it the School of Visual Arts?
No, I went to New York Institute of Photography.
That's what it was, New York Institute of Photography, excuse me. Your inspirations, you know, from Bava, throughout this entire movie, can you talk about those inspirations?
Yeah, of course, all my film influences are mostly Euro film, especially Euro horror or giallos and things like that. And so throughout this film, you'll just see homages to Bava and Fellini. There's a shot in the Change of Face story with Mystery Girl. It's a rack focus real quick onto her face, and that's straight up Fellini from Spirits of the Dead, the Toby Dammit story. I mean, and so much of it, especially the Mystery Girl story, is so giallo influenced, down to the lighting and everything, the way we film it. The story that Ashley is in, Ashley plays Dajette in the albino spider story, is, yeah, See, that is so influenced by French cinema. I almost cut it as a black and white film and put it in there with French dialogue with English subtitles. But it's influenced by so much French film, especially one of my favorite black and white films is Jean Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast. And so I actually had Ashley and Scotch, who plays the spider, watch the Beauty and the Beast movie. So I wanted the dialogue between the two characters to be like Belle and Bette, which is Beauty and the Beast, from Jean Cocteau's movie. And in the albino spider story, Ashley goes into a theater, and up top it says "Les nues sans visage," which is the nude without a face, and which is a nod to the next story coming up, which is Change of Face, where she's cutting off faces, which is actually an homage to a French film called Les yeux sans visage, which is Eyes Without a Face, and some of you might know it. It's a classic black and white French movie. And, which is a doctor whose daughter is disfigured, and he goes around cutting off women's faces and tries to give her a face transplant, but they all go wrong all the time. And so, you know, my influences are all over the film, yeah.
So Ashley, bringing a comic book character to life, had you read the comic prior to taking the role, or?
I read some of it. I saw a lot of the cartoon descriptions, the pictures, and I was very intrigued by that. And actually, whenever I got on set, whenever I actually saw the comic book, I got the script and I was like, okay, like I'm indulging, like write it, and I'm gonna look at this from so many different views and relate to it in my specific way. But yeah, it's cool.
And how did the images in the comic affect your portrayal of the role?
It matched it pretty accurately. Like, the way that I thought of this character and how I related to it was exactly like how I saw the comics.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask one more question, and then after that we're going to allow and open up to a little bit of signing. Glenn's going to stay. We're going to cut this off early and do some signing. But only if everybody has a small peaceful line right here, down here, and keeps it very easy peasy, nobody mobs the stage.
No, that's right. We're all going to meet out in the lobby. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're here for, right? You're here for Glenn. We ain't done just yet. We've got some more things to talk about. Mainly, what's next?
Can I talk about it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can talk about it.
We just, so we just finished my vampire spaghetti western. It's much different, of course, because there's no comic book to follow, so we had pretty much a free reign in the movie. Ashley plays Minabelle in the movie, so all the characters have like a traditional vampire name and a traditional Western name. So it's like Kid Vlad and Bad Bathory, Minabelle, Carmilla Joe. Julian Sands plays Count Holiday. And Devin Sauer plays the Death Rider. We have a lot of other guest cameos in it. Some friends of mine came in and did some cameos in the movie. It's again based on, you know, European cinema, which is a spaghetti western is basically the Italians loved American westerns so much they started doing their own westerns in Italy, and they got Clint Eastwood and Henry Fonda and a bunch of other actors, Charles Bronson, to come over and do these wild, you know, Italian westerns, and they eventually started calling them spaghetti westerns. In mine, everybody's a vampire, so you don't have to wait around to see the vampire. Everybody's a vampire. You don't have to wait around to see blood. You're going to see lots of blood. You're going to see, you know, vampires burning and turning into dust.
fucking badass.
Yo, that's some exclusive shit. I mean, this is the first time this has been mentioned, I believe. So.
Yeah, it's definitely the first time we've dropped any cast information.
Yeah, so we got a great cast. I mean, there's a lot of really good friends who came in and did cameos in the movie, which you'll see if you go see it. It's it's much different than Veronica.
And there's actually another person who's in the movie. You want to mention who Bad Bathory is?
Oh yeah, I did a part in it. Like, I think I told you. It's just a small part because I was directing, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I get to get all bloody, which I love getting bloody, so that's part of what I do.
Look, I've been honored to even just be a small part of this, and I want to thank you again. I thanked you in Chicago, but
well, I want to thank you because Josh does Cinepocalypse in Chicago and kind of kicked this whole thing off with Verotica. It was nice because the movie was received really warmly and ferociously in Chicago, and kind of just kicked this whole thing off like we're doing right here live. And so I want to thank you, Josh.
Well, look, you've influenced everybody in this room, every room that you walk out on the stage, every film that you create. We're all gonna fucking be here. So it's I'm just stoked to see you as happy as you are behind the camera, creating fucking awesome content for all of us to just be here together and having a good time. So I don't want to keep him from you because that's what this is all about. So let's give a big round of applause for everybody, for Ashley, for James, for Glenn.
Thank you, everybody.
We're gonna do it right in here, up front. Yeah, so lines can start right over here.